Hey everyone, I want to look at the wildlife reserves and looking at what kind of species they could be holding. We see one in the Great African Rift. It was also talked about in a article. I expected that's gonna hold African elephants, plain zebras, blue wildebeests. There was seen a digging hole just like in the first game for probably the aardvark, and we have the secretary bird. So I expect that to be those animals, and the Maasai giraffe. Then we have one just below the Sahara Desert. So I hope the dromedary camel and the Adex antelope will come back in the game. Especially when we see it is in the Sahara Desert. Just like the Dama gazelle, so I expect those will return. A square could also mean a zoo. There's not like a information about that. I think it's just a wildlife reserve. Um, so that's cool. New species. I would love to see a new Bavarian animal for the camel spider. I really love the camel spider. Quite a creepy animal. Maybe a desert chameleon. I know I'm really into the smaller animals. Maybe desert lion. I don't know if they are called like that in English. But so maybe there's more a focus on subspecies because we probably will have the African lion. But in the first game we had the West African lion. Maybe we could now have another species, Asiatic lion or the desert lion. That will be cool, and maybe some oryx species. Okay, but next up we have a kind of lake, more south of Africa. I think this can confirm that we get freshwater animals, freshwater aquatic species. So that's cool. But that lake is Lake Victoria. And in Lake Victoria, we have some very interesting animals, which I really hope come to the game. Let's first talk about schooling fish. A lot of fish here are not schooling fish, but they are really small. So, as a normal habitat species, it wouldn't be possible. And there are some cichlid species. I didn't go very deep into which species, so but cichlids. Then we have my personal favorite, the African lungfish. But I think it's really difficult for them to include the lungfish because it's not really a swimmer, more a bottom dweller. How do you say that? So I think that's pretty difficult for them to include. So I don't don't expect them to add that. Then we have the Nile perch. That's an introduced species, so not a natural species, but it is a perfect animal for these aquariums because it's quite big and not a schooling fish. So that's good. They're massive. Then we have some birds. The African fishing eel is really beautiful and it fits perfectly within this environment. The shoebill stork is also a really cool addition. It was really requested in the first game. Now we hope to get him back in the second game. And then we have herons, cormorants, kingfishers, ibises, just all those water birds, waterfowl. So, but I'm not really a big fan of those. They're cool, but I more into the shoebill than a Goliath heron or something. And then we have, of course, the most requested, the Nile crocodile. Um, the most popular crocodile in zoos, and still not in the game. Well, we have the rarest crocodiles in the game in zoos, the saltwater crocodile. So I really hope they come finally to the game. They don't get replaced like the tigers, because we have seen the saltwater crocodile in the game already. Then we have African clawless otters. Uh, Also, don't expect those. I think they will go with the Asian small clawed otter. Then we have Saratunga and antelope species, not really exciting. I think they will go with the Nyala and the already confirmed hippopotamus. So that are the species I would love to see in the swamp of Lake Victoria. But I'm really into aquatic species, so I really love those animals, especially freshwater. But next up is the Alpine Mountains. We already had a sneak peek in the gameplay trailer, and now we have some species confirmed that are the Eurasian beaver, the red deer, and the white-tailed sea eagle. I expect that they will add the Alpine ibex, just because it's the Alpine Mountains. Sorry for some background noise. They are hard at work here. But yeah, the Alpine ibex, I really expect they come back. Otherwise, you won't make a themed area about it. And we have another picture on the website. I will show the picture here. Then we see an Asian jungle. We already know the Indian elephant is going to return, or any subspecies species of the Asian elephant. So those will probably come in that wildlife reserve. We also know we have the great hornbill and the Sumatran tiger. However, the Sumatran tiger is a little more eastern of Asia. There are three tropical Asian species, but three is not enough to make an ecosystem. So I my expectations are some of the Asia animal pack from Planet Zoo, like the Nilgai or Pierre David's deer. Maybe that's more into a colder environment, but the black buck is certainly a high chance of coming back. And maybe flamingos. Flamingos are kinda worldwide. We have them here in Europe, in America, and in Asia, also in Africa. So those will probably come back, but they will probably be in the African, all three African uh, wildlife reserves too. Um, but Asia is so biodiverse that I can't name so many animals. But I think orangutan and gibbons will come back. I think they go with the Siamang and the Bornean orangutan. Um, so that is my expectation, but we will never know, or never. Later, time will tell. So yeah, I also expect giant pandas to come back, of course, but that's it for Asia. Um, and that's also a bit of the end of the video. I upload I upload a lot less last days. That's because of it's quite busy. I've a busy time, and my laptop doesn't work with me. Um, so I hope you understand. Yeah, I try to make a video once a week, and I have also a personal life. So um, and this is not my job or something. So This is purely for fun. So, I will end the video. So, I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.